Hello and welcome to Jomez Productions coverage of Round 1 of the 2017 Ed Headrick Hall of Fame Classic from Appling, Georgia and the IDGC. We've got BigSexy in the booth again, myself, Nate Sexton, and Jeremy Koling.
And what a perfect way to start the tournament off. We're at the Steady Ed course, one of the 3 courses here at the IDGC. The shortest course in terms of, well, just in terms of distance and par, I think it's maybe the easiest course of the 3, but it's also maybe one of the funnest courses. So.
I agree. It's got a little bit more hill, a little bit more water, even though the lake is very low right now. Hole 1, par 3, 295 feet, dead straight, just slightly downhill. Really can do whatever you want, provided you use a mid-range here. You can go forehand or backhand, as long as it's finishing straight.
Oh, I would be surprised if we see many mid-ranges here, unless you're throwing... I feel like most players would be going with their putter here, unless you're going with a flick, which Gregg is. And in that case, that might even be a putter right there. I think it is.
It might be.
And he's turned this over more than he'd like, and it's caught a tree, and it's going to be a little bit further away than he'd like to be, of course.
Germ arrived, taking in some of the action back there.
Yeah, of course. I wanted to support the local here, Jeff Bryk from Augusta, Georgia. Jeff is admittedly nervous to start this round off because he posted on Facebook something along the lines of, I'm playing on the Supercard and then me. He's a caddy at Augusta National.
Wow.
Pretty awesome job to have.
That is cool.
And this is going
So
to be...
he knows the game of golf.
He knows the game of golf very well. And this is going to be an exciting player to watch today because James Conrad eats these courses for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, this is a guy who was excited to get out of the ropes and back in the woods.
And kind of a tough start there with his JK AVR. He's going to hit a tree early and going to have to probably settle for par at best. And who's this, Nate?
Captain America or something? I don't know.
Okay.
Wow, not a real good drive from the group.
No, and Jeff Bryk probably threw the best looking shot of the group so far, and really not the most difficult starting hole, but wasn't the easiest either. I think it was actually like the 7th hardest hole in the course, so it's in the top half of hard holes. But it really is. I think maybe it's just because you haven't got your round started yet.
Sure. Yeah, Paul put a pretty aggressive bid on that, and he's at least 25 feet away now.
And Gregg almost proved me wrong there. I thought par would be as good as he could do, but he almost runs that one and makes it. And James gives that a bid. He's pretty much parked for his par.
See if Jeff can pick up a birdie here. Big time 40-footer.
Yeah, save the group. Save the group, Jeff.
Yes.
Oh, what a putt. Wow.
Supercard. He is the Supercard now.
Yeah, he's leading the tournament.
Yeah.
Or at least tied for the lead.
Gotta be.
Nice putt there from Jeff Bryk.
Here is Paul for the par.
Wow, that's a long putt for par on this hole.
Yeah, definitely.
Solid stroke there, though. Good pickup.
And James. See the lake in the background there. He's in as well.
Hole 1 has a long placement that's a par 4. Would go from being around the 7th hardest to maybe the hardest hole in the course. It's a very difficult pin location, so kind of nice of them to leave it here on the short to start the event off.
Yeah, help us out a little. Hole 2 is a short par 4 coming in 375 feet. It is sharply uphill at the end. You've kind of got a dual fairway to approach. You can either swing the drive far right and take a lane on the right or go through the lane the drone has opted to fly through this time and find this basket here in the middle.
The common play is going to be that backhand anhyzer that kind of flexes, snakes its way up the fairway. But there's also a backdoor forehand route that you kind of have to go outside the fairway and then come back in later on, and you see that's kind of the shot that Jeff's going with, that snaked anhyzer backhand. Looks like he's probably throwing some sort of mid-range, maybe
good.
A fairway driver of sorts, but that was a good shot there.
We'll see how aggressive these guys get here.
There's also the
Pretty aggressive.
Yeah, that was shanked there. It was a little bit early release, but he's got a pretty decent kick. I think he's going to be in the fairway.
Yeah.
There's also a roller line as well. I mean, There's different ways to get up there, but it's a very awkward angle here. And James has ripped it, and he's almost clean, but that's way up the fairway. He's almost in position to be able to jump putt, actually.
Yeah. Is this going to be a roller?
Oh, that doesn't look like an Anheuser.
Nice. I've never tried the roller, but it looks fun.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. I mean, you can get up the fairway quite a bit. It's just, I mean, it is just luck of the draw there at that point. But Paul's kind of right where you would like to be, just at the bottom of the hill. Pretty easy pitch up from there.
Yep.
You can even hit a tree early on this hole and still get up there. And Gregg catches a tree there, but this is such a short par 4.
Yeah.
It's really strange. I mean, in terms of distance, only 375. It's strange to see that and be a par 4, but you really just, it's so difficult to get up there.
Yeah.
There's just really no good line at it.
Oh, there's a good shot. I think, this course is of the 3 is the easiest one on the property, and it is designed, some of these holes are designed at kind of the blue level, that 950 level.
Yeah.
So some of these holes aren't making a whole ton of sense as a top pro hole, but that's fine. I mean, it's a fun course to play, and the majority of the course, I think, plays really well.
Sure. And Gregg's...
Oh, no.
Jeff's going to have to settle for a par. I was about to say Gregg's going to have to settle for a par, but that doesn't feel like a bogey, but I guess when you miss a putt that short, it kind of does.
Yeah.
I'm sure Gregg's not going to have any issues taking a par after the first 2 shots.
Yeah, sure.
But
there's plenty of trees in the way. That's one thing that does make the hole tough still, even though the distance is short.
The whole course, there's maybe 1 hole... Maybe 2 holes total that you could call open on this entire course. So, we're going to be seeing a lot of these kind of shots.
2 birdies, 2 pars for the group. Hole 3 is a downhill par 3, 290 feet, a little bit more technical than hole 1. You've got to throw a sort of straight putter, maybe mid, and put it on a little hyzer and kind of let it stand up as it flies, come up just short of this big down tree.
And you can see Hurricane Nate came through here. We got a new tree behind the basket. Almost took out the basket. It was very close. And you can just see throughout the whole forest, there is tons of just little piles of trees stockpiled here and there.
Yeah.
And James is throwing a nice one. Kind of gets... Not that bad of a kick, actually. He's going to be inside the circle. This is actually the 3rd hardest hole. It's still averaging under par at 2.79, but it's in terms of the technicality of the shot, going downhill, gets really fast, and yet you have to throw with a lot of touch and almost nose up to be able to keep it from going way past the basket.
2.79 is the 3rd hardest hole.
3rd hardest hole.
That really speaks to the course being a beginner-friendly.
Oh, wow. And there's another good kick there for Jeff Bryk. He's going to be inside the circle, and that tree in front of the basket might be in his way. Going to have to get down there and see whether or not he's got a good look at the basket or not.
This looks fantastic.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, it turned over just a bit. Everybody kind of catching that same spot.
And you see they all threw the hyzer flip putter shot there, that's the ideal route on this hole.
Paul from quite some distance.
And he is going to...
Okay, it stopped.
Okay, he hit the rock there. Had he not hit that rock, that would have been a very challenging bar putt.
If you go past that log, you're in some trouble.
Yeah, I'm 6'6". I happen to be just past that log, and I was just barely tall enough to get the putt over it.
Wow.
So anyone shorter would have a lot more difficulty with that putt than I had. And James connects with his great birdie there. Awesome.
Jeff also for birdie. Ooh, nice catch. There we go.
Wow. That's another thing you have to factor in this course. There's a little bit older baskets. Sometimes you don't get the results that you feel like you deserve. And, that was a solid putt from Jeff. And
luckily, he was bending down to pick up his mini. I don't think he even saw the drama that unfolded there for us.
Yeah. There's something about not seeing it, just seeing it in the basket and not knowing that you maybe...
That's good, I think.
Yeah. Any bit of stress that adds throughout the round is...
you don't want to know.
Mm-hmm.
4 is a 405-foot par 4 that goes uphill. It breaks super hard to the left off the tee, so you really can't throw a big drive at all. Play a hyzer backhand or an anhyzer forehand. And as you can see, it is just trees on trees on trees all the way up. There's really no big, wide fairway. It's kind of a scrambler's hole. I feel like no matter where I land, I'm scrambling.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see this play thrown from any of the players on the card, but, well, maybe Jeff. Jesus. Gregg will be throwing the sidearm anhyzer, but I feel like that's definitely the
Has the potential to go the farthest.
Without question.
So you can work some glide, where the hyzer is just only going to go so far.
The hyzer can only go so far because it's the height. You know,
Yeah.
you have a lot of low-hanging limbs here and random trees. That sidearm anhyzer can stay somewhat low and still be able to track up the hill. And you can see all players are just getting around the corner, and then kind of makes that second shot pretty difficult, actually.
Yeah, and Gregg is going to go backhand.
Wow, really surprising, actually. I really thought that he would be going forehand anhyzer. It really does call to be thrown here on this hole.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Paul's got a little bit of a wide hyzer.
And really nicely done there. There's just several narrow alleyways, and he's chosen the widest one.
Yeah, that was great. James from an awkward standstill. He's got a putt. Gregg with his trusty eagle.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Great approach from there. And proving that you don't necessarily need to get all that distance off the tee here. It's really about the second shot, but the second shot doesn't need to be as difficult as they've made it. And Jeff's still going to be on the dance floor. He's going to be putting from about just around circle's edge.
Solid. Possible star frame here. See if James gets him started. I had a feeling he might.
Oh, yeah. That's a good stroke there. Hey there. Just taking time to say hi to the fans.
Definitely. And Jeff is in.
That's 2 of the 4. And there's 3 of the 4, and we're going to have a star frame on hole 3,
Nice.
or hole 4.
Nice.
This hole was... There's only 2 bogeys all day, which is just surprising to me. It doesn't matter how hard or easy.
You'd think rollaways.
Yeah, missed putts, rollaways. I mean, there's so many trees in the way.
Mm-hmm.
I was really surprised to see only 2 5s all day on this hole.
That is surprising. I feel like throwing that hyzer backhand, I'd half expect the thing to come rolling right back. Hole 5, par 4, 510 feet downhill. Absolutely an eagle opportunity for these guys. You can throw a huge drive here. You just have to navigate a bit of a tight gap coming out. If you can get a little bit of flip on the disc and then bring it back towards this pin without going in the water, you got a putt for eagle.
Yeah, it feels like we had maybe a bit of a headwind draft coming in up the tunnel, which isn't really that uncommon coming off that lake. But I would say that of the 54 holes on the complex, this would be my number 1 favorite. It's just such a beautiful hole.
Yeah.
And James has kept it in bounds. That was playing with some danger there. But
yeah, and often the lake can be fully 40 feet higher up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's very low right now, but
it's in.
It's in bounds, and he's actually pin high. And
Paul going with a little more of a safe play than I think he wanted. He's going to crash these trees. Should have a pretty easy birdie, but not what he's looking for.
Yeah, birdie 3 doesn't really feel that great. If you get through this tunnel here, you're looking at how can I get my 2? And
oh, shoot.
The problem is that right there.
Yep, you try for the 2 and you can end up catching something.
This is a hole where bogey comes into play. Very quick, just because of the water and because of the early gap. If you don't get out that early gap, you're losing 450 feet or so to your card.
Yeah, and did you happen to notice the drop zone if you do go in the water?
It's not great.
It's brutal.
It's not great. Shout out to Eric Oakley, though, who aced this hole. Oh, goodness, as we see that one go.
Oh, no.
In the water. He aced this hole in mixed doubles this year at the World Championships.
Oh, really?
He aced this. It was one of the most spectacular aces I can even think of.
That's so awesome.
And there's a nice little approach there. And Paul, not that basket. Okay, good.
Okay, phew. That was almost a costly mistake from Paul.
Oh, and off the cage. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know if that's what he was trying to do. No, of course he was. I mean, that's how Paul plays.
And Gregg is another one of those guys running it from everywhere.
Yeah, and that was a little more conservative of an aggressive conservative bid there. Had the height to go in, but stayed within a couple feet after it did. And a pretty easy little jump putt layup. And Jeff is going to have to settle for a bogey, I believe.
I think you're right.
Which, there were 7 of those. So that wasn't the only person bogeying like he would have been had he done it on hole 4.
Yeah.
And that was really close to some fireworks there from McBeth and Barsby, actually. There were 3 eagles. Chris Dickerson, Johnny McRae, and Peter McBride.
Peter parked it. He was in my group.
Oh, wow.
20 feet.
Awesome.
Hole 6, par 3, 220. There's a couple options here. You can go with a wide backhand hyzer or a flex forehand up the middle. It's a little bit of a tricky little hole. I mean, just a lot of trees, like the kind of the character of this course.
Yeah, you said the forehand flex or the backhand hyzer. You didn't really mention the backhand spike hyzer, which Simon went with in my group.
What?
And put it 20 feet away.
Around, over Jomez?
Yeah, over Jomez, over here to the right.
Wow.
There's not really a route. He just kind of figured the disc was stronger than the branches, and he was right.
I didn't mention the dead straight putter bounced to the pin either.
Oh my gosh, that was pretty close. I'm still waiting for this to go in. I know we had Austin Turner hit off the bamboo gate last week and get the ace on hole 7 at USDGC, but I mean, when are we going to see one of those? Like right next to the basket, kick in, like, oops.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, low skipper.
Wow. Great shot from Paul. It kind of looked like a misrelease at first, but nothing wrong with that.
Gregg with the more traditional higher route. And he's going to have a putt. Let's see if Jeff can correct after that bogey on the last. If it swings, it's good.
Oh yeah, look at that. Playing the James Conrad route there with a little ricochet. Just short of pin high, maybe 20 feet away. I'm going to call it 22. And he makes good there.
Nice.
Good putt from Jeff. He's holding this together after that bogey on 5.
Oh, Paul stays a little high. Maybe the wind off the lake getting under the putter or something.
Yeah, I know he straddle putted for a while, and he's gone back to his original traditional stance.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a straddle putt downhill with a little bit of wind coming off the lake. It's kind of an awkward scenario. You're not quite as comfortable as you like to be, but still, I mean, that's a putt that he still is expecting to make 100 times out of 100.
Yep.
And this hole was split right down the middle. There was 30 birdies, 30 pars, and there just happened to be 2 bogeys. I'll be coming up the rear here with a bogey on this hole. I had a spit out from like 5 feet.
Man.
It's on video.
Ouch. Hole 7 is a 515-foot par 4 that sort of has 2 really abrupt doglegs. First dogleg's hard right and then back hard left. So you have to play a drive that lands sort of dead center of this landing zone we're over right now to have the angle to play your next shot down into the pin.
Yeah, you really have to get pretty far right here. If you're going sidearm, you'd like to maybe not throw the fastest disc, and if you do, you have to put a lot of angle on it, because if you go too deep here, you've really pinched yourself off from being able to throw the angle you'd like for your approach. But
that's way pinched.
Yeah, that I thought that was going to keep turning, but yeah, that's exactly the place we're talking about. He's gotten far enough that he might have some opportunity, but
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he goes with there. I really don't think hyzer is possible. Maybe some kind of triple skip or.
Yeah, there's a couple of like straight through the. He might have that early hyzer route before the corner tree, but we'll have to see what he's left with. And Jeff's a little bit better angle, you can see there, and you can see Gregg is trying to cut off the angle. But I think most players would be way quicker to take Gregg's shot out there and sacrifice 50 to 60 feet of distance just to have the better angle.
Surprised to see Paul go backhand here. It's an aggressive play, but I feel like it's going to find that pinched off area.
Wow, and he's way up there.
Although, I mean, if you go through the woods some, maybe then you can just jump putt out the other side.
And you can see maybe this tree is just a bit in Gregg's way here, and he has a shortened follow through. Make sure he doesn't hit the tree.
Wow, not an inch of skip? Come on.
Well, he hit the tree and dropped straight down.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yep.
I thought I just saw it check up like it hit a root or something.
And wow, really nice shot from Jeff there. That was a very difficult angle. He made that look really easy. Knowing the local lines.
So James is going to go through with the hyzer.
Wow.
That was great.
A very fortunate shot there. I mean, I'm sure he planned on that and maybe working, but I don't think he expected that good of a shot from there.
Is this a Roadrunner thumber?
It very well could be. He needed something to flip quick, and Roadrunners flip quicker than other discs for thumbers. So that was pulling out all the tricks there. You have to in the woods.
Definitely. Just low for Gregg there on his birdie look. Paul for the birdie. And that is another miss, just off to the right side.
And James keep things rolling here. He's off to a hot start.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Cans it. That guy has no layup in his putt. I mean, he's just that speed from every distance.
Yep.
When he's rolling, he is just a really fun player to watch. And tapping par there for Paul and Gregg.
And look at Jeff with the drop-in birdie. James to -6 through 7 holes.
Wow.
Hole 8 is a 235-foot par 3, slightly uphill. You're kind of going over this little gully, but I don't believe it plays out of bounds. So you just have to clear it, find your way up to this little rock garden of a green. You really need a very straight shot here.
This is a pretty typical hole for this part of the country. I mean, with the type of forest that we have, you see a lot of these technical straight 300, and it's not 235 feet. This one's, I think, further than that.
It feels further, but it might be the uphill or it might be a mismeasurement.
Is it really? Does it really say it's only 235?
I
feel like it's 270 or something,
yeah.
You know? But yeah, you see a lot of these type of straight tunnel shots like this with rocky greens and stuff like that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Using the features of the land here, and a really nice shot from Jeff, but he's calling for it to get down.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have, I don't know, 28 feet left. Maybe maybe a little bit more.
Here comes the laser straight eagle that we've seen Gregg throw.
The Air Jordan die. Used to be a Paul Ulibarri special, I believe. He's caught the early trees there on the green. He's going to be a bit shorter than he'd like.
And Paul going rock 3. Needs it to move, and it doesn't move.
And Paul's just like, man, can I get my foot in the door here? What's going on here?
Where's my birdies?
This is a putt to kind of get things right the ship, but he is going to have to settle for another par. And
pretty surprising.
Yeah, very surprising. And look at
Jeff continues to connect.
He's going to be 5 down through 8 with a bogey. I mean, great start for the local. He's
definitely
proven he's got game too.
Oh. Why?
All right.
Yuck.
I'm going to hold my opinions to myself. Good putt there from James. Nice birdie, keeping things going again.
Paul in for par. Gregg, sidearms in a par.
Yeah, that's frustrating, to say the very least.
Hole 9 is a 700-foot par 5 that doglegs directly to the right. You're going to have to throw about 400-ish feet straight and then 300 feet straight again once you make the corner to have any kind of play at eagle. It is an eagleable hole, but it takes two pretty fantastic shots.
Yeah, I would label this a pro par 4. It would be one of the hardest par 4s you'd play. The hole itself averaged, I believe, just over 4.29, so almost 4.3. But it really, you can execute mid-range if you're a professional and get your 3.
Maybe. It would be a big mid-range, but it could be done.
I mean, to get to the landing zone, you can throw a mid-range. Really not that big of a problem, but the second shot's a little bit longer because it's a little bit more uphill. But still, it's achievable, and I don't know. It's kind of one of those holes where you'd like to at least have a look for 3. I mean, you're fine with 4. It's not like you're upset with a 4 at all. It's a great hole nonetheless. I mean, it still requires really smart play here, and
that's well done.
Gregg's going to be maybe just a bit short of the corner for the angle he'd like, but
maybe some kind of anti-flex backhand from there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he goes with here. But
and Paul going inside line with the McPro.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say he didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to say that. But Simon was in my group, and he threw mid-range the same line, and he did not mean to go for that route.
And Jeff going to go cut the corner here with a little backdoor route. Not a great kick, but I think he should be fairly open from there. Paul dialing up an eagle run with the T-bird. Needs it to turn over a bit more.
And
that's certainly an eagle putt.
Yeah, he's made eagle putts from longer, that's for sure.
And Gregg going to try to follow that. Turn this thing over.
Oh, yeah, look at this. And this is on a great plane. It just misses those early trees. And look at this.
Wow.
Oh, we're going to get another FollowFlight from that one, I hope. Because that was just, wow. Wow. I am surprised by that. That was an absolutely phenomenal lace there.
That was a great shot.
From Gregg, who's just short of the corner and managed to flex it just around those guardian trees. And from the fairway, those guardian trees look like they're 35, 40 feet away. They're far. They're
maybe small gaps, too.
Maybe 60 feet, maybe a little bit more than that. So if you hit those, you have a very slim chance of making your putt.
Yep.
So to miss those for Gregg on his second shot is just ginormous. He's going to have a tap-in eagle.
And James for eagle.
And he's going to have to settle for birdie.
Oh, poor James. And see if Paul can get going here. Man, off to the left just barely.
Wow.
Gets a little bit more chains, but still nothing in the bottom of the basket for him. And Jeff a little low.
I think that was for birdie.
I believe so.
And this is another hole that only netted 2 bogeys all day. I mean, because they called a par 5, the scoring average made it the 3rd easiest hole in the course. But it's not about, like, you don't think this hole's easy when you step up to it.
No.
Because it's not about, you're not thinking, I'm playing this based on par. You're trying to get that 3.
Yep.
And only one player's done it.
In that way, it's very hard.
Yeah.
He was the only one?
No, there were 5.
Okay.
AJ Risley, Ricky Wysocki, Lance Brown, and Paul Ulibarri also joined him.
Nice.
Kind of surprised there weren't more, to be honest with you.
Beautiful. That blue font. Love to see it, Gregg, with the eagle.
Yeah, and that's going to wrap it up in the front 9. James Conrad off to a pretty good start at 8 under.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Not bad. But right there behind him, Jeff Bryk, the local, 5 under. And Gregg with his eagle puts him at 5 under. And Paul McBeth bringing up the rear at 4 under.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to Jomez. And we will catch you guys for the back 9.
And always thanks to Fancy Clancy for all the stats. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next time.